Gordon Bennett. Good evening. I think this is the third time I tried to do this. Whatever was going on with the Wi-Fi or the connection, it kept reconnecting. It wouldn't even allow me to start. So third time's a charm. Okay, I was trying to think about what I was going to call this one because the information that came through for this was quite a lot. So, but I ended up calling it Taking It Back. And so it's not controversial in regards to what I'm going to be discussing, but the way for it to play out may sound a little odd. But anyway, taking it back, every time I come on here, I ask the question, what can I do to change the planet with love? To change the frequency of the planet with love. This is, every time I ask. So anything that's coming from this space is coming with the intention of helping shift the vibration of this planet. So the topic that came up was dealing with slavery, and it was a deep topic because talking about slavery is not a lot of people want to deal with that. Ekasa, your Grace, how you doing? Well, a lot of people do talk about it. Anyway, what they said to me was, in this day and time, a lot of stuff with slavery that's coming up, and there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of frustrations, and there's a lot of information that's being brought up. I'm not an African American, but I know when I came to America, it was like a culture shock in regards to how people relate, how people operate, just mindsets and everything like that. And coming from England, it was a little different because of what you've had to endure over the years. And even though the slavery took on its form for 400 years, this information or this way of life is still affecting our people today. They were saying, we have to take it back. We have to take back the information or the wisdom that happened back then. As a people, we have to look like and understand that we're very strong, very resilient, very can't get rid of quite easily, you know what I mean? Because fast forward now, the issue when it comes to our people, the issue is not the money and the power that they're trying to stop us from having. What they are trying to do is to stop the wisdom, the knowledge of who you are and who we are and what we can become. So with all the information and all the stuff that's happened from slavery still affecting people now, it's like, you've got people in your family that, they're doing things that doesn't make any sense, or they're having issues, there's anger issues, there's, just ways of portraying themselves that is like, why would you even do that? But we have to understand that there's a system that's been put in place that is assisting the process of why people are behaving the way that they do. And there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of anger that's dealing with the slavery part, yet, and the reparations, that we should get this, yet they're saying you cannot fight them that way. The way you do this is I'm not a historian, so I don't know all the stuff that happened. I'm the bare minimum what I've learned from my children being in school and then working in a school. And then learning little bits from, social media and stuff. But they were saying that all that information that comes through, you've got all these scholars and all these historians that understand the psychological effects that it has on our people. And basically, they're saying that these people have to take that knowledge and wisdom, even though there's a lot of anger that is attached to it, but they have to take that wisdom and to teach the people as to why that they are still operating in that way, or why these things are still affecting them. And then so I was like, well, I'm trying to understand, how does that make sense? So what they showed to me, why they brought it back to me, because they give me examples through my own life. So when it comes to meditation, for me, for years I was told I need to meditate, but I couldn't quiet my mind for the life of me. So, thoughts are going all over the place. But there was one particular time I was like, I got to see what's on the other side of this because it keeps coming up. So I took the time out to, I did this process called the Master Key System. And what that did, it was like a 24-week thing where it taught me the mechanics of the mind and how the mind works and how to process it, to slow my mind down or to slow me down, to be still and to understand the mechanics of the mind. Me understanding the mechanics of the mind and how my mind worked allowed me to understand how I was able to calm myself down, to slow these things down in order for me to sit and meditate. It was a 6-month process that I did every single day in order to get me to understand this thing. So in doing that, it changed my perception of myself and the psychological effects that I was thinking that I couldn't meditate. So when they showed me in myself, they were saying when it comes to people and society, most people in society are just now waking up. A lot of us are still asleep, but yet do we know that we have a power within us? Do we know that we have a wisdom and knowledge, the innate wisdom and knowledge within us that is unkillable? You can't take it away, but what you can do is distract it. And so for generations and generations, there's been so much distraction that the power that we have is not being emerged. So now, because we're in a new day and time, you see these people understand. Like I said, it's not about money. Part of it's about money, but the biggest thing is not about you and your money. It's about knowing who you are, knowing how powerful you are, knowing your resilience, knowing exactly who you are. Remember the pyramids in them. They want to let you know that it was the Arabians or the Middle Easterns that were the initial Egyptians, but we know different. So when they want to tell a story, they're going to tell a story to minimize you so you don't remember the greatness of what you came from. It's all part of the plan. Fast forward what we're going on with right now. Because they've been doing this for so long, they've been instilling these kind of throwing stones and hiding hands situations for so long, they think in this day and time, we're still going to go with the same okie doke. Like right now, they're telling everybody, oh, you can go to the barbershop, you can go away there and everywhere because they want us to believe, oh, yeah, nothing's going on. We're not doing anything. The coronavirus is not going to do this or this is not happening here. You know what I mean? They think that everybody's dumbed down in order to do the things that just because they're speaking that we're supposed to just accept what they're saying and keep it moving. But the time of those days is over with, and they're saying we have to teach the people better. We have to get people to understand that there is a reason why this anger and the depression and all this and the ways of thinking that, you've got a lot of, criminal-minded people. It isn't just that they're just born criminals. There's a lot of things that take place in this society that creates this space to make them be the way that they are. But they need to understand that there's more to them than that, other than from what they see. So they're saying that these historians and these people that understand the psychological effects that slavery has done to people should be the ones to tell these stories. Now, when they talked about these reparations and arguing and fighting with these people that did all this stuff, it's like you can't do it. You can't fight people with the same fears that they portrayed doing that thing. Because I saw a post the other day where it was saying they made laws for like white women when they was beating children and killing them. They made laws for them to protect them. So it's like if they can make laws to protect their people from doing jacked up stuff to us, why do you think the same law is going to assist you in getting what you need? They're saying you can't fight them in their own system. You have to fight them in a higher perspective, from a spiritual perspective, from a divine perspective. I've been saying for a long time now. You can go back to some of my videos. I was saying that the ancient ones, the ancestors, the wisdom from old is trying to come through a lot of people. A lot of people have got to be prepared for this stuff. A lot of information wants to come through in order to move us into a new space, into the new life. Already know that the old way is gone and the new way is coming. Yet, those people that have been in control or whatever you want to call it, they're not giving up. They know that their time is up, but they're gonna ride this until the wheels fall off. And that just means that we have to be stronger in understanding our power within ourselves, because that's one space that they cannot control. When we come together and we unite from a space of love, and I'm not saying like, oh, love your enemy and love all. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the innate space of love. That energy there cannot overpower this space. They can't fight that, because everything that they're trying to do that is causing the problems that is causing right now, all the problems that they're trying to do can be eliminated if we came together. So, like I said, when it comes to this slavery stuff, people have to be taught the ramifications of what happened in slavery, not from a space of anger, but from a space of education now, to say these are the things that happened there, and this is why you are the way you are now, just to understand it, to give you another perspective of why people acting out the way they do. There is a lot of anger with our people. In regards to relating to each other, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of disappointment, there's a lot of backstabbing, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't need to be a part of our world, especially with the stuff that we're going on with. But how do you change that? You can't change that without giving some type of education or giving some understanding as to why this is going on. You know what I mean? You know, like I said, if they can make laws within themselves to protect themselves, what makes you think you can fight them in their own space? It's impossible. It's not even worth it, because remember, their whole structure is built on fear. There is no there's no love. The only reason why they've been able to sustain this for so long is because they've got so many people feeding into this fear. And even if you want to take it into a step further, if they've had different spiritual help or different, alien help or whatever you want to call it, that energy that's been assisting them has been on a lower vibration, which is dealing with fears, dealing with fears and control. And that fears and control gives them the ways to manipulate the people, to brainwash the people, or to blind the people on the truth of who you really are. Because when you know who you are, can't nobody mess with you like that. When you know as a fact who you are and you are good with that, nobody can mess you up. But we got too many of us that have just been going with the flow, because it's easy to go with the flow because you don't know whichever way to go. So they're saying it's the education part now. In order to assist in changing the world with love, you got to show the people where they have it within them, the innate power that they have within them, remembering who you are. Remember, the people that went through slavery, they was very strong. All the ones that went through it, and because of them, you are. All those people that are, whether they're mixed up or whatever, all those people that are living now, because of their ancestors were strong enough to withstand the poor conditions that they was kept in, whatever was the food that they ate, whether it was the beating. Because remember now, they couldn't just one-on-one win. They had to use a lot of tools. They had to use a lot of things to try and beat us down. So that lets you know, there is always a fear of us standing up and owning a space. And that's why they're doing most of the stuff, because they want to keep us dumb. They're trying to keep us dumbed down enough that we don't try and change that fact. But like I said, we're in a new cycle now, and that way has to change. So the education has to change. We have to teach, with the mental health that's going on in this world. We have to teach all of this is stemming from a systematic conditioning that is still going ahead. We don't want to be in another 100 years later still saying 500 years ago our people went through this and we're still having the same conditions now. We have an opportunity now to change that by what we do. They are making up whatever they want to make up in order to keep us messed up. And it's time for us now to say no, to not feed into that space and own who we are. Own who we are, and like I said before, telling our story, telling it the way we choose to tell it, and teaching our people the way we need to teach them. There is many people out here that are being given information from the ancient ones, from the Iyami, from the primordials, in order to change the trajectory of where we're going. We've got to be open enough and willing enough to listen and listen to that information and each one teach one. Because if we don't, we're going to have a hard time. It's already a hard time now. We don't want to make it even worse. But like I said, the only way that they cannot fight us is in the space of unity and in loving ourselves. Because that love within yourself, even if you don't want to even think about loving everybody else, but the innate love and you allowing love to come through you is what will spread to each one. Because it's like an infection when it comes to love. It touches and touches and touches and it spreads. You know what I mean? When everybody's in joy, when you walk in a room and everybody's happy, you feel it. But you walk in a room and everybody's upset or somebody's sad, you feel that too. So you know that it's infectious. So we have to make a difference in our world by teaching each one in a better way. And like I said, coming from slavery, taking it back, understanding the dynamics of what that space did, and teaching the people, this is why this has happened, and this is how you can shift it. There's many scholars out there. There's many brilliant people out there that know more about slavery. I mean, I don't know it like that, but there's many people out there that understand it and have a way with words, especially teaching the psychological effects, so you can shift that. Because people know that this is not the way that they want to be. When they're angry about stuff and have no idea why they are so angry, they don't know where it comes from. So they just think, oh, this is how it's supposed to be, and they just live with it. That's when you have the addictions, the drinking or the smoking or the alcohol and the drugs, because people don't know how to deal with the effects of what they're going through, because they have no idea how to understand what they're going through. But like I said, due to things that have been systematically put in place to keep people in a certain space, they have to understand that this is why. This is why this is this. You are the way you are. To understand that gives you clarity. And once you have clarity, you can start to see things from a different light. You can start to see things from a different perspective. Once you can see things from a different perspective, you then open up enough to learn something new, to add something new to your thought process. Like I said, seeds. Every time I do a video, I'm not expecting everybody to listen to me, but I'm praying that the little seeds that I sow will be something that give people food for thought, to say, oh, that makes sense, and then it grows into something else. So, like I said, we have to take it back in order for people to understand why they are the way they are, in order to be able to adapt a new way of thinking. Because it's only the new way of thinking and allowing love and that unity into ourselves that will make a difference. If they want to lie to you, they can continue to lie to you. If they want to set up laws against you, they will continue to do that. You know what I mean? But we know better than that. We're in every facet of the world. We're in every profession. We can do something about it. It doesn't have to stay in their hands. You know what I mean? I saw some guy yesterday and he was talking about, investing. And he was like, do you not understand? Investments right now are investing into those same companies that are funding these same people to do what they want to do with us. You know what I mean? Yet, we have many black people, we have many people of color that have brilliant businesses that are greatly sustainable, that we could be investing in to support our own, to change what's going on, so we have more things to offer each other and to take that space back, that our economy can work for us and by us and make more. And all of this is not specifically about color. It's not. It's talking about the way things are set up and the only way you can shift it. And you have to go back and understand that space. And remember, we was very strong. We was very, very resilient. We couldn't be taken out. It don't matter what stuff we went through. And you see the crazy stuff, the bad stuff that those people went through slavery. It was awful. Yet, look how strong and resilient we are. Lets you know that we can't be taken out that easy. But that lets you know that there's something within us that is more powerful than what they tried to do to us. So we got to understand that. We got to know that, feel that, and allow that to be the guiding force or the driving force to move us forward into where we're going. Because, this is a new world. We're in a new day. We're in the age of Aquarius, which is about the spiritual connection, whereas the age of Pisces was more about, I'm going to tell you something, you're going to deal with it, and you're going to accept it. Like women accepted it like they were second class, and we know that's not the case. We understand it now. The divine feminine is coming up more and more and more, because that's the facts. It's the truth. So this is what's coming out more and more in this day and time, is the truth. And so the truth is knowing and understanding who we are from a higher perspective, and not from just what you see. Because a lot of the stuff that's going on, you're not knowing about it, you're not seeing it. So we have to go from a spiritual perspective, or we have to come from the wisdom of the ancients in order to move through this, because they're not playing fair. They're not going to be honest about stuff. And I keep saying this. So it's up to us to allow the truth to come through, because you can't lie to yourself. I don't care what goes on, you can't lie to yourself. And if you're open and willing to know more, that information is coming to you. There's many people that I've seen on here that are vessels for spirit, vessels for source, that come with that much knowledge, come with that much wisdom, and they are teaching people every day that they sit and open their mouth. They are teaching people about themselves. And this is love. It is love that allows them to stand in front of you and tell you something that is going to assist you on your journey. So they're saying that's the only way we're going to do this, is with this space of education, or educating and understanding the psychology of where we went, what we went through, to what we're going through now, in order to be able to open that space up for us to learn more about ourselves and learn the power that we have within us, because that's the thing that they're trying to stop. That strength that we have in us, that power, that untouchable space, is the thing that they are fighting so hard for us not to connect back to. You know what I mean? And a lot of spiritual people know this, but it's very difficult to get through to some people that do not see, do not hear, and do not understand that they have that within them, because they've never been taught. You've got many people here that don't even understand what love is. Do you see how many broken people that there are? And why there's broken relationships, or broken men, or broken women? Because they don't even understand how to love. They don't understand how to love themselves, talk less loving each other. So we have to teach these things, and not in arguing, not in fighting. It don't work. We can't fight them that way. We beat them with the spiritual information, our ancient ones, that ancient wisdom coming back, in order to stop them from what they're doing. So, like I said, this video is called Taking It Back. Taking it back to understand slavery, to understand what happened, to teach why people are the way they are now, in order for them to open their minds up, in order to learn about who they are. And yeah. So, like I said, I ask for stuff, they give me stuff, they give me an understanding so I can get it myself in order for me to express it. And once I do that, I give it. So, until the next time, I'm going to go now. So you take care. I love you. Like I said, I always love you. And peace out. Take care.